Some places on Earth are so surreal, they simply shouldn't exist. You might look at these unbelievable places and swear they are just a dream. But make no mistake, this impossible world actually exists. Nature didn't need special effects to build this, just millions of years of wind, water, and violent pressure. What looks like science fiction is actually Earth's ancient history, carved in stone and defying time itself. So, let's journey to the edge of the known world. Mlinsici is a one-of-a-kind complex of tiny watermills on the planet, featuring 20 ancient oak huts perched precariously on slender stilts right in the heart of a rushing, multi-tiered waterfall system. This entire surreal structure was built according to a challenging 16th century architectural principle, where the houses have absolutely no windows or chimneys and are assembled using handcrafted techniques without a single metal nail. Ancient builders sourced oak from the deepest forests of Bosnia, so that when submerged in the mineral-rich emerald waters, the timber undergoes a natural chemical reaction, turning it as hard as stone and immune to all pests. During the Middle Ages, this was actually a bizarre, non-monetary exchange, where farmers had to pay taxes with the very flour they ground on the spot to maintain the existence of this impossible water village. Dades Gorges is a massive stone labyrinth located in the high Atlas Range of Morocco, home to one of the most treacherous mountain roads in the world, with sharp hairpin turns rising vertically. This land was once a sea graveyard, where ancient coral reefs from 200 million years ago were pushed up to an elevation of several thousand feet, forming vibrant red cliffs, rising up to 500 feet. The gorge was carved by the Dades River, a seemingly small stream that has patiently split the limestone mountains over millions of years. Although the surrounding landscape is dry and barren, like a desert, the valley floor below is a lush ecosystem with almond trees, walnut trees, and thriving gardens sustained by the river's water. The zigzag road here is considered one of the most dangerous and thrilling roads in the world, with 180-degree hairpin turns stacked one on top of the other on steep cliffs. Galeshnak is the only island on Earth with a perfect heart shape completely untouched by human intervention. Though it has existed for thousands of years, it only became globally famous in 2009 when its heart shape was discovered on Google Earth. Every year, hundreds of couples rent private boats to go there just to propose, with a success rate said to be nearly absolute due to the incredibly romantic atmosphere. With an area of only about 0.132 square kilometers and a coastline length of 1.55 kilometers, this private island is valued at over $13 million, a crazy price for a piece of land with no electricity, water, or human inhabitants. One of the most shocking discoveries is the remains of an ancient stone bridge that once connected Galeshnak to a nearby island, now lying submerged under the sea for over 7,000 years. Despite lacking any services, Galeshnak remains a magnet for the wealthiest people in the world, such as Jeff Bezos, Michael Jordan, and Beyoncé. Pobiti Kamani is the only natural desert in Bulgaria famous for its title as the Museum of Hollow Stones, one of the world's most unique geological wonders. The stone columns here are not solid rocks, but massive hollow tubes filled with fine sand inside, rising up to about 23 feet, standing tall in the arid landscape. The complex spans tens of square kilometers, containing thousands of stone columns aged about 50 million years, shaped by wind and water erosion. These columns come in various shapes, from those resembling camels to massive mushroom-like formations, and even some grouped together resembling a family standing side by side. At the center, a circle made of small stone slabs forms a mysterious space where it is said that wishes made while standing inside will come true. The area is also known as the Land of Eternal Energy, where strange magnetic phenomena cause compasses to spin wildly, transforming it into a time portal. The Buzludzha Monument is known for its brutalist architectural style and its turbulent history, having been inaugurated in 1981 as a state headquarters and memorial in Bulgaria. After the political system changed in 1989, the structure was abandoned and rapidly deteriorated due to the absence of maintenance. To construct the building, the entire mountain summit, at an elevation of about 4,728 feet, was leveled using explosives, and more than 70,000 tons of concrete were transported to the site to form a disc-like structure. Construction lasted 7 years from 1974 to 1981 and involved over 6,000 engineers, artists, and soldiers, with much of the funding coming from public contributions through the purchase of special postage stamps. On the adjacent tower, rising about 230 feet, are two large red stars made of ruby crystal glass, imported from the Soviet Union, which once emitted light visible from a distance of roughly 19 miles. Bam Citadel, also known as Argi Bam, is considered the largest sandcastle on Earth, a massive ancient mud brick fortress rising from the arid deserts of Iran. The entire earthen city was built solely from mud straw and palm trunks, creating a uniform structure in both material and color. Despite being made from fragile natural elements, the site survived for over 2,500 years, enduring violent sandstorms and summer heat, reaching 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Covering about 44 acres and protected by 38 watchtowers, Bam Citadel once housed more than 10,000 residents within a fully developed urban system. After the devastating earthquake of 2003 that nearly leveled the site, its reconstruction using traditional earthen techniques turned Bam into a symbol of seemingly impossible recovery. Afyon Karahisar Castle is regarded as a true flying fortress, positioned atop a steep volcanic rock rising nearly 750 feet above the surrounding landscape of central Turkey. The structure stands on a massive volcanic plug with walls and watchtowers carved directly into solid basalt rather than built with mortar, giving the impression that the fortress grows out of the rock itself. From a distance, the castle appears to lack foundations, as stone walls rise straight from jagged cliffs, making the entire complex seem suspended above the ground. Reaching the summit requires climbing more than 800 steep stone steps, winding around the mountainside where a single misstep leads directly toward a sheer drop. Local legend claims that anyone who reaches the top will remain tied to the land of Afyon Karahisar for the next 7 years. Within the complex stands the Maiden Tower, a place where locals believe shouted wishes about marriage or children travel farther and are answered more quickly than anywhere else. Lake Skadar, known as the Mirror of the Gods, is the largest wetland in southern Europe and the only freshwater labyrinth on Earth that physically changes shape with each passing season. Its surface area swings dramatically from about 143 square miles in summer to over 200 square miles in winter, making it one of the few lakes worldwide that transforms with the seasons. Though the water level sits above sea level, the lake bed lies below it, forming a hidden geological depression where the boundary between land and ocean blurs. At the bottom are more than 30 massive sinkholes called ochre, where groundwater bursts up from caverns deeper than 200 feet beneath the surface. During summer, the lake turns into a water lily desert with millions of blossoms blanketing tens of square miles across the calm surface. Clinging defiantly to a sheer cliff at 900 meters high, Ostrog Monastery appears more like an impossible illusion suspended in the sky than a structure built by humans. Right on the hard, rocky balcony, a grapevine has lived and borne fruit for centuries, despite having no soil to grow, in which locals believe is a miracle and visitors cannot explain. During World War II, a Nazi bomb hit the monastery, but strangely, it did not explode and instead broke in half. So Ostrog Monastery remains intact to this day. The monks here did not build walls, but used the cave's rock face as the walls, painting directly onto the stone and creating narrow, deep spaces that make visitors feel like they are entering the heart of a mountain. The path leading up to Ostrog Monastery is steep with deep cliffs on both sides. Yet barefoot pilgrims still make the journey every year, creating a scene that many find hard to believe belongs to the 21st century. Trigrad Gorge, known as the Marble Fortress, is one of the most spectacular geological formations on Earth, with sheer cliffs rising over 350 feet. The gorge is carved entirely from pure marble, with vertical cliffs pressing tightly together to form a giant fissure. Scientists conducted dye tests to trace the river's flow, revealing that although the water vanishes and reappears just 500 meters apart on the map, it takes more than 90 minutes for the water to travel through this section. Hidden beneath the gorge lies the Hall of Thunder, a massive underground cavern that could house an entire cathedral with a 42-meter underground waterfall cascading into a dim space. The area is also home to the Habelia rhodopensis, a plant that can dehydrate completely and then miraculously revive after years with just a drop of water. Trigrad Gorge is infamous for the mysterious disappearance of two professional divers in 1970, and since then all attempts to explore the underground water system have been prohibited. Pontic King's rock tombs are regarded as a unique city of the dead, featuring royal tombs carved directly into sheer cliffs overlooking the river valley. Each tomb is not merely a cave, but a monolithic block cut free from the mountain by a surrounding passage, giving the impression that the structure is suspended in mid-air. The largest monument, the tomb of King Pharnax I, rises to a height comparable to a 5-story building at about 50 feet and was entirely carved by hand more than 2,300 years ago. To reach these royal chambers, ancient builders created hidden tunnels extending up to nearly 1,000 feet through solid rock, along with steep stairways set beside vertical drops toward the river below. Many facades appear richly decorated like real doorways, but are actually solid stone, while the true entrances are concealed or positioned high above ground level. The source of the Cetina River in Croatia is a karst sinkhole shaped like a massive deep blue eye, stunning the world and earning it the name the Eye of the Earth. Professional divers have reached depths of about 155 meters, equivalent to a 50-story building, yet the bottom remains undiscovered. It's not a lake, but a bottomless blue abyss that extends deep into the earth, where groundwater is pushed upward from deep limestone layers under extreme pressure. Its surface appears calm and mirror-like, but beneath it lies a mystical water maze with absolute transparency. The water temperature remains a constant 45 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, regardless of the scorching summer heat, causing anyone who touches it to feel an immediate shock, as if frozen. Right at the edge of this bottomless abyss stands an ancient church from the 9th century, a historical witness guarding the gateway to the Earth's core. Prohodna is one of the most impressive natural stone bridges in Europe, distinguished by two massive symmetrical openings in the cave ceiling, known locally as the Eyes of God. This formation was sculpted from white limestone around 66 million years ago by erosion from wind and water, forming a mountain-piercing corridor large enough to allow sunlight to pass straight through. When it rains, water seeps through the rock and drips from the edges of the eye sockets, creating the phenomenon known as the Tears of God, as if the cave itself were weeping in the wilderness. The entrance reaches a height of about 148 feet, the equivalent of a 15-story building, allowing daylight to flood through the eyes and illuminate the entire interior. At the center point, beneath the eyes, lush green vegetation thrives, forming a distinct micro-ecosystem within the cold stone cavern. Local legend says that gold was once hidden in the cave's niches, and the unblinking gaze of the Eyes of God keeps intruders paralyzed with unease, unable to approach further. The Neretva River holds the title as the coldest river on Earth, with an ethereal turquoise color that winds through the heart of Europe. The river has carved its way through massive limestone mountain ranges, forming deep gorges up to 1,200 meters, creating a secluded canyon system. The water temperature hovers around 45 degrees Fahrenheit, freezing even as it flows through areas experiencing Mediterranean heat, reaching 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The color of the Neretva is not the usual blue, but a vibrant emerald green, thanks to the river's crystal-clear water that allows visibility down to the riverbed several dozen feet below. This is the only place on Earth where the rare softmouth salmon lives, and about a quarter of Europe's fish species can be found in the river's basin. Local youths dive from a height of about 78 feet, equivalent to an 8-story building, into the freezing, fast-moving waters of the Neretva. Tara River Canyon is known as the Tears of Europe, with the Tara River Gorge in Montenegro being the deepest cut in Europe and the second largest green abyss on the planet. The water here is of absolute purity, one of the few rivers in the world where you can drink directly from the stream without any filtration system. The Illogical River, a physical paradox, is only about 420 feet long, but spews an enormous flow of water at 1,000 liters per second. The gorge is not just a rocky surface. It's riddled with over 80 unexplored caves, some of which contain prehistoric human remnants. The Durdovica Tara Bridge, 582 yards long, built by hand in 1937 and once rigged for demolition by its own designer to resist enemy forces. The Vjosa River in Albania is known as the Green Heart of Europe and is the continent's last large wild river, officially designated as the world's first Wild River National Park. The river displays a large braided channel system with hundreds of interweaving water branches spreading across white gravel floodplains extending for several miles. Vjosa is the only river in Europe that flows entirely freely from its source to the sea, without dams or artificial barriers, allowing natural reshaping of the surrounding landscape after seasonal floods. The river system supports more than 1,000 plant and animal species, including migratory fish that travel hundreds of miles upstream from the Adriatic Sea to spawn inland. While kayaking from the lower river toward the Adriatic coast, you can observe a continuous natural transition from freshwater to saltwater ecosystems along the flow. Cetina Waterfall is known as the most surreal waterfall in the Balkans, a hidden natural formation located beneath the sacred Mount Timur and largely isolated from surrounding landscapes. Unlike typical waterfalls, it has no surface source, as water is compressed under extreme pressure underground and erupts directly from fractures in vertical limestone cliffs. The system consists of multiple water jets emerging from heights ranging from about 65 feet to more than 330 feet, forming a continuous white curtain across the dark rock face. Constant mist covers the cliffs day and night, creating hanging oases where mosses and unusual plants grow upside down and sustain a fully isolated micro-ecosystem above the forest floor. Hidden in the arid steppe of Kazakhstan, Akhmechet is a massive natural cave known as the most surreal and mysterious stone sanctuary in Central Asia. The cave is a perfectly round sinkhole in the middle of flat terrain, topped with a smooth domed ceiling that resembles a giant yurt carved from solid rock. Strangely, trees grow lushly inside the cave, even though the surrounding area is bone dry and no underground streams or water sources exist nearby. Local legends say the cave was formed when a dragon burst through the rock ceiling with its wings, leaving behind the massive hole that now serves as the entrance and main skylight. Measuring over 650 feet long and with a ceiling height of 80 feet, Akhmechet is large enough to contain an 8-story building. To enter, visitors must descend from the top rim, as if stepping into a colossal well, plunging directly into the earth. Blue Eye, also known as Syria, is hidden within a dense natural forest and is essentially a deep spring pool where groundwater continuously erupts from underground under very high pressure. The name Blue Eye comes from the pool's color structure, with a dark blue central zone surrounded by shallower turquoise water, forming a shape resembling an eye when viewed from above. To this day, the exact depth of the spring remains unknown, as professional divers have attempted to descend beyond about 164 feet, but were stopped by the upward force of the water flow. Groundwater rises to the surface at a high discharge rate, creating constant swirling motion and ripples at the center of the pool. When an object is dropped into the central opening, the strong upward current often forces it back to the surface after only a few seconds. This behavior indicates that the underground flow intensity is sufficient to counteract gravitational force acting on descending objects. Issyk Lake is known as the reborn jewel of the Tian Shan Mountains, a lake distinguished by rare turquoise tones that shift with light conditions. The lake formed around 10,000 years ago after a massive geological collapse when half of a mountain fell and created a natural dam hundreds of feet high. Fine mineral particles carried by glacial streams cause the watercolor to change from bright neon blue to muted silver gray, within hours as sunlight and cloud cover vary. In 1963, a catastrophic mudflow erased the lake from maps in a single afternoon before large-scale engineering efforts restored it from debris. Timgad is considered one of the most precisely planned cities of the ancient world, founded by Emperor Trajan around 100 AD and preserved as a clear example of Roman urban design. Viewed from above, the entire city displays a grid-based layout with straight streets intersecting at exact 90-degree angles, forming a uniform geometric network across a wide area. The architectural landscape is defined by honey-colored limestone columns and structural remains standing against the reddish-brown ground of North Africa. After being buried by Sahara desert sands, the city disappeared from historical maps for more than 1,000 years and was rediscovered in the 19th century in a highly preserved state. Despite its remote location, the city once contained 14 public bath complexes, a large library, and a stone theater capable of seating more than 3,500 people. The city entrance is marked by a massive sandstone triumphal arch that endures as physical evidence of Roman administrative and military presence in the region. Adamkayla is regarded as a unique hanging cemetery featuring the most extensive and detailed collection of ancient human rock reliefs ever discovered. A total of 17 life-sized figures were carved directly into the vertical limestone cliffs of the Devil Valley, forming a suspended open-air museum above a sheer drop. The project unfolded over roughly 800 feet of cliff face and required about 800 years of cumulative labor, with artisans working beside drops reaching several hundred feet without protective equipment. The statues appear to step out from the rock itself and can only be reached by descending a narrow and dangerous trail that clings to the canyon wall. One striking scene shows a man reclining calmly on a chair, holding a cup positioned directly beside a drop of several hundred feet, creating a stark spatial contrast. Despite its scale and technical complexity, no historical records identify the builders. or explain the purpose of risking lives at this location, leaving Adam Kayalar as an unresolved architectural enigma. The Royal Mausoleum of Mauritania, known in French as the Mausolée Royal de Mauritanie, is a distinctive ancient architectural structure located in Tipaza, Algeria, and it serves as the burial site of Juba II and Cleopatra Selene II, the last king and queen of the independent kingdom of Mauritania. The monument takes the form of a massive cylindrical stone body topped with a conical dome assembled from large, precisely fitted stone blocks. Surrounding the structure are 60 Ionic-style columns carved directly from the stone base, rather than constructed as separate elements. Four monumental stone doors face east, west, south, and north, but all of them are false entrances designed to mislead intruders, while the true access lies hidden deep within the structure. In the 16th century, a naval admiral attempted to destroy the mausoleum with artillery in search of treasure, yet the stone walls resisted the attack and suffered only surface damage. The monument represents a rare architectural fusion, combining Berber tumulus form, Greek columns, and Roman dome construction techniques within a single structure. What makes Pliva Waterfall famous worldwide is its location in the heart of an ancient city recognized as one of the most beautiful waterfalls due to its impossible position in the city center. The waterfall is formed from travertine limestone, a type of rock that grows through the accumulation of moss and algae, with the stone layer increasing by about 1 centimeter each year. The calm Pliva River suddenly ends with a dramatic drop of 72 feet into the Vjosa River, creating a rare phenomenon known as a waterfall river mouth. Thanks to the minerals in the limestone, the water at Pliva often has a vibrant turquoise glow, as if illuminated by neon lights from the bottom. During the 1990s, Bosnia War, an earthquake, and artillery shelling of an upstream power plant caused flooding, reducing the waterfall's height from 98 feet to its current 72 feet. Just a few steps from the waterfall lies a cluster of 20 small wooden watermills dating back to the Ottoman era, scattered along the turquoise water steps, resembling the homes of a mythical tiny race. The Lut Desert in Iran is considered the most extreme region on the planet, holding the highest land surface temperatures ever recorded on Earth by satellite measurements. The area is defined by the Kalut's massive ridges of wind-eroded mudstone sculpted over thousands of years into vertical formations resembling natural skyscrapers. Some sand dunes here reach heights of up to 980 feet, ranking among the tallest dunes on Earth and creating constantly shifting desert terrain. The name Dasht-e-Lut translates to empty plain in Persian, reflecting the severe aridity and near absence of biological activity. In the desert core, conditions are considered nearly sterile, where even microbial life struggles to survive due to extreme heat and dryness. Zvernec Island is a small island located in the Nata Lagoon, near the city of Vlore in Albania, forming a space clearly separated from the surrounding coastal tourism activity. The defining feature of the island is its access route via a wooden bridge measuring about 886 feet, allowing direct passage from the mainland without the use of boats. Although the island covers only about 22 acres, it supports a dense pine forest ecosystem and contains a Byzantine monastery dating back more than 800 years. The distance to the tourist city of Vlore is only a few miles yet. After crossing the bridge, urban noise and activity are largely absent. Inside the monastery structure are burial chambers associated with historical figures connected to the island, indicating its long-standing religious and residential significance. In the surrounding lagoon environment, large flocks of flamingos dominate the wildlife presence and represent the most prominent animal population in the area. Osum Canyon is one of Albania's notable natural landmarks, a river canyon about 16 miles long located in the southern part of the country, where the Osum River has eroded limestone formations over millions of years to create a distinct geological structure. In several sections, the cliffs rise close to 328 feet, while the river channel below becomes very narrow, limiting the penetration of direct sunlight to the canyon floor. In morphological terms, the area is considered a massive roofless cave, where river erosion has cut through limestone layers and formed vertical rock walls reaching heights of up to about 328 feet. The base of the cliffs contains many natural cavities and caves created by hydraulic erosion, some of which remain only partially studied from a geological perspective. Along the canyon, numerous waterfalls descend directly from the cliff tops into the river, and during spring, snow melt dozens of active waterfalls can appear simultaneously. During high water seasons, you can observe rafting activity along the river course, while in summer, low water conditions allow walking within the canyon and close examination of smoothed rock surfaces and exposed fossil traces in the cliff walls. The Panagia Church is the legendary White Crown of Folegandros Island, a feat of architecture that defies gravity, standing tall on the edge of a sheer cliff. This structure, with its multiple white domes, was built using stones and columns directly from the ruins of an ancient temple dedicated to Apollo, providing a solid foundation for thousands of years. The white zigzagging footpath winds like a mystical silk ribbon, or a mythical creature crawling upward to the peak, suspended in the air. The pure white bell tower stands majestically at the highest point, the first thing sailors see from dozens of miles away. Every year during Easter, thousands of people walk to carry the church's precious silver statue of the saint, journeying through every corner of the island to perform a blessing ritual. Sozopol is renowned as a cultural and historical hub, a perfect blend of modern beach resort and an open-air museum with ancient charm. The old town sits on a narrow limestone peninsula where houses with the unique stone legs, wooden bodies, architecture rise directly from steep cliffs, creating a striking landscape. In 2012, the world was shocked when archaeologists discovered skeletons from 700 years ago, pierced through the chest with heavy iron rods, revealing a violent past. Despite covering just a few square miles, Sozopol has compressed more than 2,600 years of continuous history, with over 180 heritage homes and 40 religious structures stacked through different eras. The cobblestone streets in the old town are rugged with almost no sidewalks, and the houses are so closely packed that you can shake hands with your neighbor from opposite balconies. Peperikon is a legendary stone city located in Bulgaria, often referred to as the Machu Picchu of Europe, and recognized as the largest monolithic stone architectural complex on the Balkan Peninsula. The site is recorded as one of the world's oldest, continuously inhabited locations, with evidence of settlement beginning in the Neolithic period around 5,000 years before Christ. Instead of brick or mortar construction, the entire urban layout, including multi-level palaces, streets, and drainage systems, was carved directly into a massive rock formation. The complex includes a sanctuary dedicated to Dionysus, regarded as one of the two major prophetic centers of the ancient world, where divination rituals were performed on stone altars. Continuous occupation at Peperikon extends for more than 8,000 years and spans at least 5 distinct civilizations from the Neolithic era through the Middle Ages. Sveti Stefan is a one-of-a-kind hotel island in the world, originally a 15th century fortress that has been transformed into an ultra-luxury resort reserved for billionaires and A-list celebrities. Although it is a rocky island, nature created a narrow, sandy tombolo linking it to the mainland, forming the only natural access route. The island covers only about 129,000 square feet, yet it contains both natural and artificial pink sand beaches packed into an extremely limited area. Historical records state that the island was built using treasure taken from defeated Ottoman ships, beginning as a fortress of 12 houses for 12 clans, surrounded by arrow slits and cannon positions. In the 1950s, the government relocated roughly 400 residents to the mainland to convert the site into a sealed tourism enclave for Hollywood stars and the global elite. Hidden deep within the Rhodope Gorge of Bulgaria stands Diavolski, most also known as the Devil's Bridge, a medieval stone bridge known for its unusual structure and the dense body of legends associated with it. The bridge consists of 3 large arches spanning the Ada River, with the central arch producing a distinctive geometric reflection when water levels are low and the surface remains calm. Under overhead midday sunlight, the reflection of the main arch on the water surface has been documented to form an almost perfect circular shape. On the stone surface of the bridge, there is a deep hollow resembling a human footprint with irregular proportions, commonly referred to in local folklore as the devil's footprint. The structure has stood for more than 500 years and continues to withstand severe flooding of the Ada River without records of major structural restoration. Kurano Gizero is a massive karst sinkhole on Earth's surface, ranked among the deepest and most dramatic chasms on the planet, with an almost perfectly cylindrical form. The lake is enclosed by sheer cliffs rising over 787 feet, stained red by iron oxide surrounding a deep blue body of water, whose bottom lies below sea level. With a total depth of roughly 1,739 feet, this natural skylight could fully submerge Western Europe's tallest skyscraper and ranks among the continent's deepest depressions. In the year 2017, diver Frederick Swiaczynski reached the bottom for the first time and documented a vast underwater cave system connecting to rivers tens of miles away. Vopaded Bleha is a majestic natural wonder where the river of the same name suddenly disappears from the ground to perform a free fall from a height of 56 meters. The water cascades into a narrow basin, surrounded by vertical limestone cliffs with a 90-degree angle. With an extremely slim form, standing 56 meters tall, but only about 33 feet wide, Bleha Falls resembles a crystal thread hanging suspended in the air. The cliffs surrounding the waterfall are covered with a thick, soft green moss that absorbs all external sounds. Asen's fortress is described as an eagle's nest fortress, one of the most fortified strongholds in the Balkan region, and it contains one of the oldest, well-preserved, two-level stone churches in the world. The site served as a key defensive outpost during the Second Bulgarian Empire and reached its peak development under the reign of Tsar Ivan Asen II. The entire fortress was constructed directly on a narrow limestone ridge with cliff faces approaching 90 degrees, making walls about 39 feet high appear as extensions of the natural rock. Within the complex stands the Church of the Holy Mother of God, Petrich, a Byzantine religious structure from the 12th to 13th centuries, featuring a two-level layout with a lower burial chamber and an upper sanctuary. Narrow passages, ancient stone stairways, and limestone foundations are anchored tightly into the mountainside to accommodate the extreme terrain. During autumn and winter, low cloud layers often cover the valley below, and from elevated viewpoints, you can observe the fortress appearing visually separated from the surrounding ground. Zlatnight Mosto, also known as the Golden Bridge, is a notable natural site on Mount Vjosa in Bulgaria, recognized for a rare geological phenomenon unrelated to flowing water. Instead of a stream, the area contains a stone river made of thousands of rounded and smooth granite blocks extending downslope for about 1.4 miles and reaching widths of up to about 490 feet. This formation developed through weathering and erosion processes during the Ice Age, as large rock masses were shaped over long periods by groundwater and ice activity. Although granite is naturally grey, the name Golden Bridge comes from a biological effect in which the rock surfaces are covered by a yellow-colored lichen species. During winter, snow fills the gaps between the stones and highlights the layered structure of the stone river on the mountain slope. In autumn, the yellow tones of the lichen combine with surrounding forest vegetation, producing a seasonal shift in the overall landscape coloration. The National Library of Kosovo is an architectural monster known as one of the most bizarre buildings in the world, frequently topping the lists of both the ugliest and most impressive structures. The roof of the building is covered by 99 white domes of varying sizes, resembling giant pills or eggs of some unknown creature. The contrast of light, with hundreds of skylights on the roof, casting vertical beams of light into the interior, transforms the space into a vibrant light matrix. Architect Andrija Mutnjakovic created a striking distortion of proportions by magnifying the shape of the local ples hat into massive concrete structures. Few know that this futuristic fortress-like structure was once used as a military command center and refugee camp during wartime, adding a haunting chapter to its history.